Hey guys, I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and if you see the oranges in the background, well, that's because this is the Motorola Citrus with Verizon Wireless. It's available now for $49.99 after a $100 mail-on rebate. You know, it's a low-end Android device, which brings up the question, for me at least, you know, the Vortex is $79.99. A lot of Black Friday specials just happened, a lot of Cyber Monday specials just happened, and a lot of stuff coming for the holidays. So it's one of those things, shop around, because this is $49.99 at a corporate Verizon store, but if you go to a place like Best Buy Mobile or Wirefly or some of the online retailers, you may find this for $1, or even something like the Droid Incredible or the Fascinate for $1. You know, they were $1 on Black Friday at Best Buy Mobile. So, you know, shop around, make sure before you commit to purchasing this. But, you know, anyway, it's a low-end Android device, and it's decent. I've been pleased with it. And it's not bad, but for $30 more, you can get the Vortex if that's something that interests you. Special thanks to our friends at Verizon for hooking us up with a review unit, and special thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with 2 of these so we can give them away to you in the One Paw Bandit game. You know, one thing I like about Best Buy Mobile, you walk out working, so when you go and buy this, be it for yourself, for grandma, for mom, for dad, they'll hook you up. They'll get the web working, email working, all of that, so when you walk out, you're working. Enough of that, and sorry about the noise. They seem pretty adamant on sweeping the leaves or wiping the leaves, even though it's pouring rain outside. So sorry for the noise, but enough of that. Motorola Citrus Verizon review starts right now. Hey, I'm trying to work here. Keep it down. Here it is. The Motorola Citrus is available at Verizon now for $49.99 after a $100 rebate, mail-in rebate debit card now. So you know, it's there, but you know, it's one of those things for me at least. As I said in the intro, you know, it's $49.99. It's great for people that are coming from a feature phone. This is an awesome option to consider, and it's one of those 14,000 Motorola devices. No, I'm just kidding. I think it was 6 Motorola devices that were announced at CTIA in San Francisco about a month ago. So, you know, it's a decent device. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice little low-end device. It feels good in the hand to be $50. And you notice little things like the lack of a flash, slower processor. It's not even running MotoBlur, but it's running Motorola's applications platform, which is basically Blur but without the cloud services. So you know, that said, it's one of those things for me. It's $49.99. So you're paying $150 out the door for this device before rebates. I'd say, you know, my recommendation to most people, and actually was to my mom over Thanksgiving weekend, she asked, and I said, you know, get the Vortex. It's $79.99, and not to down Motorola. It's been a great device both on the call quality standpoint, or call quality front, battery life front, and more. But you know, it's a low-powered, low-end device, and for $30 more, you can get a mid-range device. It's running Android 2.2 out of the box. But you know, enough of that. It's not a dogfight, but just something to keep in mind. Otherwise, you know, it's pretty decent low-end device. As I said, it has Motorola's Backtrack, little doohickey here on the back. Little doohickey. That's technologically savvy terminology. But on the right spine, you have your volume rocker, camera shortcut button. On the left spine, micro USB charging port, and on the top you have 3.5mm headphone jack and a power button. Below the screen, you have 4 capacitive touchscreen buttons and 2 physical buttons for send and end. And you know, I said this in the unboxing, but I'll tell you the one, this device reminds me so much of the Palm Pre, just in terms of the way it feels, and really that's about it, the way it feels in the hand. I mean, it feels just like the Pre without the keyboard open, both in size, in terms of build quality, and well, that's it, but size and build quality. But it feels a lot like a Pre, but it's not. Applications-wise, you get AccuWeather, Backup Assistant, Bing, a couple other Verizon pre-installed things like Mobile IM, My Verizon Mobile, MySpace, for people that still use MySpace, VCast Tones, VCast Videos, VZ Navigator, Wii World, whatever that is, and YouTube. Let's see what Wii World is. It looks like a game. Wii World. Let's see, we're in the Wii Me. Let's do a male Wii-Me. Some sort of avatar-based program. We're going to have to give him cool hair, because that is definitely not cool hair. That is just scary. Let's see here. I like that. That's pretty happening. Let's give him some knobs. I like that. Looks like something on a freaking Monopoly. That's a little Colonel Sanders' son or something like that, with the maybe not with the pointy, that'd be a little bit too risque, but with the knobs at least, that's definitely definitely cool. So I'll leave that for you to play with when you get the device. But otherwise, it's Motorola's applications platform. It's not Blur, but it's basically Blur but without the cloud sync services. You'll notice the widgets are very similar. So typical Moto Blur-ish widgets where you can customize and change the size, which I've always been a fan of. If you watch my videos, I always call out Moto Blur positively on this because you have the option to change the size of the widgets within the set parameters. So you can change the date widget, for example, and make it certain sizes. I mean, obviously there are sizes you can't do like that, but you can change the size around versus the standard widget. It's kind of like plop, here it is, and you're done. So you see, so that's pretty cool there. The browser, let's have a look at the browser real quick and bring up PhoneDog. It's running Android 2.1, so there's no flash whatsoever, and it's a kind of a variant of Motorola's multi-touch keyboard. Looks pretty similar in terms of size and look, but there is no. Well, no, I guess it looks like there is multi-touch to this keyboard, but a little bit smaller keys. Not Hoiog Phone Dog. So you can see I'm having trouble typing on it. Phone Dog, not Phone Dig, PhoneDog.com. So we'll bring that up and see what it looks like. Now you get your typical Android options here. New window, bookmarks, windows. You can bring up if you have 3 windows. You can click that and migrate between the 3 browser windows. Stop, more, the typical Android stuff. There. Now you can see it's a lower resolution display. For somebody that's coming from a feature phone, they'll be pleased across the board just to have something like this. But for somebody that's coming from even a mid-range device like the Pixie or the the Ally or something of that nature, it's definitely a low-res display. But you can do it portrait or in landscape mode. It's 528 megahertz processor, and I think most of my testing with this device, I really felt that 528 megahertz. There's some lag, particularly when using the browser or doing any sort of intensive, processor-intensive applications. You'll notice that it lags a little bit. So even though it's a little bit slower than 600 megahertz or 720, which is what the flip side comes with, it's a noticeable difference. So you can see I'm pinch to zooming or pinching in and out right now, and you can see let's wait for it to load a little bit longer. And you can see the pinch to zoom. I use my thumbs now. Is pretty laggy. You can see even without flash. I mean, it reminds me a lot of what Android 2.2 is like with flash, but obviously this is 2.1 without flash, so it should be much easier and overall smoother. So that could be a concern. But then again, the target demographic of this device is not the crowd that's going to sit here on film and pinch to zoom on the browser all day long. This is for people that browse occasionally but really want the connectivity of a smartphone. So it's all about where it's targeted from a demographic standpoint. Let's take a look at the dialer or the phone app. Typical non-Moto Blur phone app with the dialer, recent contacts, favorites tab, and then the separated keys, the virtual island keys here, where there's some space in between. You'll notice here's the flip side, and you notice this is a full Blur experience. And you'll see the tabs are a little bit different. And the numbers are all together. So, on the ground or the foundation rather, it's similar. But when you look up close, you can see that the tabs are a little bit different on a Blur device versus a non-Blur device. So typically, you've seen this before: favorites, contacts, recent, and more. Contacts, as you would expect from a typical Blur phone or typical Motorola phone, for that matter. Let's pull up Balance, for example. You can scroll to the left and see history, and because this doesn't have Blur, you can't scroll to the right and see social networking. It's not a part of the Citrus. So typical on the looks front though, with your call button, your text messaging shortcut button, and the overall appearance of contacts. So I'm going to go in here and activate the backtrack pad on the back so we can play around with it. Backtrack pad on the back. Say that 3 times fast. Let's see your backtrack cursor. Let's tap twice. We'll enable both of those. And you can see I can scroll without touching the screen. I can scroll from right to left. So I can do that. And then when I want to click on something, let's see if I can see what it does here. Let's go to double tap and go to the data usage widget, for example. Whoa. And we'll tap on that. And it brings up my Verizon Mobile. go out of that. Let's find something more fun. Let's see. Android Market. That looks like fun. Let's see. Double tap. Definitely takes some time to get used to because I'm trying to... There we go. Double tap on Market. Bring it up. Right. So it's a little bit sensitive, but I think over time it's something you can get used to. Now, you know, the functionality of this is fine, but would people use it? You know, who knows? But obviously people have used it in the past on devices like the backflip. But it's a decent. Let's see. You can see I'm doing it here on the Mac. It's a decent feature to have on the device. But again, you know, it's more of a novelty thing. I'd much rather use use my finger versus going back here, doing this, going back to the front, going to the back. So novelty. Don't see it really as a make or break feature on the device. So as I was saying before, in addition to the Verizon applications, VCast videos, Tone, Skype Mobile, there's a cool application on here called Treehugger, and we'll open it up and you can see this device is, as I talked about in the unboxing, the Motorola Citrus is a very eco-friendly device. You know, the phone housing is 100% recyclable, and it's made from 25% post-consumer recycled water bottles, so that's cool on that front. And the packaging is made from recycled paper, and the literature is made from 100% post-consumer recycled paper, and it's printed with soy-based ink. So very cool on that front. It's an eco-friendly device, and all across the box and on the device they're encouraging you to unplug it when it's charged to conserve electricity. Make sure to recycle your old phone when you get this, and they provide a bag to do so in the box. So very eco-friendly. And then this Treehugger app is installed as well, so you can read some eco-friendly articles like or eco-friendly news or things that are related to the environment. Obviously, Valley devastated by coal ash waste isn't a good piece of news, but it shows what can happen when we don't take care of the environment. So, you know, if that's something that interests you, it is available on the device, and you can go in here and find tips and tricks on how to make things eco-friendly from the phone all the way to your car and lighting in your house. So pretty cool on that front. Much more coverage to come on the Motorola Citrus on PhoneDog.com. We'll have additional videos. I'm sure there'll be a dogfight at some point and more. But in the meantime, be sure to like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/PhoneDog. We're giving away 100 iPads and a trip to the Super Bowl in 2011. You know, that's pretty cool. And all you have to do is go to the Facebook page. Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Like us, enter the sweepstakes, and you're entered to win. You get 6 different attempts to do so from our various network sites. So pretty cool. Take advantage of that. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, PhoneDog_Aaron. Ask me any questions you have about this device. Stop in and say hello. Stop in and say, you know, I love the Citrus. Let me know. Either way, PhoneDog_Aaron. Thanks for watching. My name's Aaron. Have a great day.